All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're digging into a simple but really powerful idea. In the super fast paced world of crypto, there's one single factor that can literally make or break your investment. So let's figure out what it is. So here's a question that probably keeps every crypto investor up at night. You've put your hard earned money into a project you really believe in, but how do you know it isn't slowly on its way to becoming a ghost chain? Let's find out. Okay, so first up, we've got to talk about the biggest problem out there for so many projects. It's a concept we can call the stagnation trap, where doing nothing, just standing still, is actually the fastest way to get left in the dust. And this really hits the nail on the head. The crypto market is always changing, always moving. What users expect from an app today is way higher than it was a year ago. And the money, the liquidity, it's always chasing the next big thing, the projects that are actually building and innovating. What worked in the last cycle, that's no guarantee it's going to work this time. And look, this isn't just some abstract idea. There is a real, measurable cost to falling behind. When a chain stops pushing forward, users get bored, and they leave. When the users leave, the network stops making as much money from fees. And when both of those things happen, well, the demand for that chain's token just tanks. It's a total downward spiral that hammers the value of your investment. So if stagnation is the trap, how do you get out of it? Well, that brings us to the core idea we're unpacking today, the velocity mandate. And honestly, this is the single most important metric you need to be watching. Okay, so what in the world is capability velocity? It's not just about raw transaction speed. It's about how quickly a network is evolving as a whole. Is it getting faster? Is it becoming easier for developers to actually build cool stuff on it? And can it play nice with other blockchains? It's all of that without cutting corners on security. That's the real sign of a project with serious long-term potential. So velocity might sound a little abstract, right? But this breaks it down into real, concrete things you can look for. We're talking about regular upgrades to the core tech, better tools that make developers' lives easier, and a believable plan for scaling up with things like Layer 2s. We also want to see a laser focus on user experience through stuff like account abstraction, which is just a fancy way of making crypto wallets as easy to use as your Google account, and a secure way for different blockchains to talk to each other. These are the fingerprints of a healthy, growing project. But look, just being fast isn't the whole story. All that speed has to be built on a solid foundation, which brings us to our next section, the pillars of sustainable value. And first up is the economic engine that actually powers the whole thing. You know, when it comes to the economics of a project, it's tokenomics. It can basically go down one of two roads. On the good road, you have smart economics, where new tokens are used to build real long-term value. But on the bad road, you have these inflationary traps where they just print more tokens, which silently taxes everyone who holds them and puts constant pressure on the price. For you, the investor, this is everything. It's the difference between holding a productive asset and a melting ice cube. And I want to be super clear about this next point. In the multi-chain world we live in now, a blockchain that can't talk to other blockchains is like a brand new shopping mall with zero roads leading to it. It just won't work. Being interoperable isn't some nice-to-have feature anymore. It's how a chain gets users, it's how it gets liquidity, and ultimately, it's how it makes money. A chain that's a lonely island, that's a huge red flag. So, you've got this great engine, the economics are sound, but what good is a supercar if nobody can figure out how to drive it? That brings us to the second pillar that you absolutely need for high velocity, the user experience moat. I mean, look at the difference here. It's night and day. If we're ever going to get the next billion people into crypto, it has to feel just like the apps they already use every day. Simple, one click, no weird jargon. Come on, if someone needs to watch a 20-minute YouTube tutorial just to figure out your app, you've already lost them. The project that nails this wins the mainstream user. It's that simple. And this quote right here just sums it all up perfectly. The winners are going to be the ones that take all that crazy crypto complexity and just make it disappear. They'll make it simple, predictable, and keep it safe for the user. That right there is the future. Okay, so that's the big picture. Now, let's bring it back down to earth. What does all this actually mean for you as an investor? Think of this next part as your personal playbook for finding the projects that are built to last. So what are the green flags? Here are the actual signals you should be looking for. Teams that deliver updates on a regular schedule, not just soon. Projects that aren't afraid to publish their real performance numbers. Look for actual partnerships with real-world companies and grant programs that are funding real products, not just schemes to temporarily boost user numbers. These are the tangible signs of a healthy, high-velocity ecosystem. And finally, let's wrap this up with a super simple framework for managing your risk. First, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread your bets across different kinds of blockchains. Second, bet on the builders, the teams who have a proven track record of actually shipping product. And most importantly, follow the data, not the hype. Forget the noise on Twitter. Active addresses, developer commits, fee revenue, that stuff tells you the real story. So let's leave you with this one last, really powerful idea. The next huge wave of adoption is coming for sure, but it is not going to wait around for chains that are stuck in the past. So the question you have to ask yourself for every single project you hold is simple. Is it adapting or is it stagnating? Because that answer is going to determine everything.